So in this video, I want to talk about how to get a deal by getting people to call you back. And when I say getting people to call you back, I'd like you to listen to this message.
Hi, David. This is just a few minutes ago. I'm the daughter of SEI. It was in reference to a dormant CD. If you could give me a call back, this is my cell number, 8.
So here's a client that I left a message for about unclaimed money. Not only does she call me back, she identifies herself, what the call was about. She gives me her cell phone number. That goes from a cold lead to a warm lead. Now, how do I get those? How do I get leads that will go ahead and get someone to call me back? So let's go ahead and talk about this. So first of all, what I do is I leave a message that's in reference to, that's going to pique their attention. And this is something that I teach a lot in the course, but I leave a message that's like, hi, this is David Church. I'm trying to reach John Smith. John, I'm calling you about the dormant CD account at 123 Main Street. Now, what did I do? I called and I said his name and my name. I went ahead and I talked about an account that he's probably familiar with, and I gave an address that he has. So I'm not calling someone up and saying, hey, do you know you have money that you don't know you've had? Now, I've had a few people come through and they've said to me, well, you can't tell people where the funds are. They might go around you. Like, that's one of the objections I get. Well, it's going to happen. I've had it happen to me recently. I've had it happen, but to this day, I make over $10,000 a month in unclaimed money by letting people know they have unclaimed funds. And I'm going to talk a few things about that. So number one is you've got to be willing to take action and call people. And if you called 5 people a day, that's 25 calls a week. That's 100 calls a month. I'll be very surprised if you don't get a deal. What you have to first of all is get your list. You have to get familiar with your list. And then you want to get comfortable with your script. You want to know why you're calling people, and you want to be ready for questions like, how did you get my information? What's in it for you? And you have to be ready to answer that. Like, when people ask me, how'd you get my information? I'm real candid with them. I say, this is public info. I went ahead and retrieved it. I skip traced you. And first of all, you can't come off salesy. Like, I can't call and say, hey, you have unclaimed money. Can I get your deal? Can I get your business? That's a scam call. But if I call John Smith and I say, and keep in mind, this is not legal advice, but this is what my attorney has given me. Hi, this is David Church, trying to reach John Smith. John, I'm calling you about the property at 123 Main Street. I'm not sure if you're aware, and I educate him. And sometimes I hear, yeah, I'm aware of it. Sometimes I hear, no, I know nothing about this. At that point, I turn it from an education call. By the way, I first of all just want to make sure you know about this. If you decide you would like some assistance, we offer services at no cost to you. We get paid on the back end, so there'll be no upfront costs. Once funds are received, on a contingent basis, we'll get paid when you get paid. People like to hear that, and people will want to do business with you. So, a couple more key factors I want to give you before we wrap up this video. So number one is when you can call 5 times a day, 5 times a week, that's 25 calls, it's 100 calls you're calling on. Now, most of the people, one of the biggest concerns I get is people never pick up the phone. They don't for me either. It's not like I have the magic call and people always pick up the phone for me. The majority of my deals are from callbacks and multiple follow-ups. And it's probably like pretty close to half and half. Meaning, like, I called 3 people yesterday that I left detailed messages for, that I had gotten their info from somebody. And I'll call them again another day or two if I don't hear back. And then I'll call them again another day or two. Then I'll start emailing. Then I'll start texting. And eventually they're going to say, yeah, David, I've noticed I have a few messages from you. What's this about? Now, the other day I got a really feisty lady. She called me. She's like, I'm calling you back regarding this. And she knew all about the unclaimed money. And she said to me, why should I pay a locator? Why can't I just go claim it myself? And I said, you can. She's actually tried to claim it herself and she's been unsuccessful. And she's paid an attorney to claim it and he's been unsuccessful, which I had seen in this particular case. And she's like, are you saying you're better than my attorney? And I said, well, your attorney's educated in law in a courtroom. I'm educated in how to claim unclaimed money. And then she talked about the frustrations with her attorney, the paperwork and everything. I said, well, we're going to make it as easy as possible. We'll give you everything you need up front. We'll go ahead and we'll file the claim for you. And upon retrieving the claim, and she's got like a couple $100,000. She was pretty impressed that we're not going to be giving her that she's not going to be giving us 30%. So we came in at a lower fee than that, and she was pretty impressed with that. You want to get comfortable with your market. You want to be able to talk to your clients and many times follow up. Think about when you bought something, like, did you just go buy it on the first time, or did you test drive it? Like, I'm thinking about a car here. Did you test drive it? Did you look at it? A lot of people need to get comfortable with you. They need to know that you're the real deal, and they need to know that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. So the last thing I want to say is I have a CRM. I have a whole YouTube short on Trello. I'll put up the link up in this where you could go through and you can watch it. And basically in the CRM, I keep track of my leads and I show how to do this. So Trello is like a totally free CRM, and you keep, because you're not going to remember everybody that you spoke with. Now, someone doesn't make my CRM unless I've spoke to them or they've called me back, and people say, well, then how do you keep track of your leads? Well, if I put every single phone call in there, I make sometimes 4 or 5 calls for one lead trying to figure somebody out. That'd be 5 new leads minimum a day. That'd be 25 a week. I mean, could you imagine how long that'd be on the CRM? But if I talk to someone, they're going to call me back, or they've called me back, boom, they make my CRM. So we've talked about a lot in this video. We've talked about leaving messages, 5 calls a day, 5 times a week. That's 100 calls a month. You're going to see action. You got to take action if you want to be able to see action in your business and you want to turn this side hustle into a business. Hey everyone, do me a favor. Give me a like if you like this video. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments, and subscribe my channel as I give more videos like this. Also, right now, and these change all the time, I have a new email, 5 mistakes to avoid. I'll put that link in there. It's a 5-day email course. You sign up and you get 5 days of emails sent out to you automatically. We'd love to see you in there. I'll put that link in the description and pin it so that you can see it, and I hope to see you around. Thanks for watching.